Welcome to Waste of Space. Click on multiplayer, new game, select a planet, and then press spawn. Find an iron resource node and collect 3 iron. To open the crafting grid, click on the crafting symbol on the left. Here you have the tabs and the ability to search items. Search for the bin and craft 1. With the hammer tool, you can drag and resize parts on the bottom right. The bin can be resized to 10 by 10 by 10. The amount of contents a bin can hold depends on its volume. A max size bin can hold 1000 items. Place the bin under the iron node and start collecting iron on top of it. To lock items, press on the Permissions tab, select the group, left click on the bin, red means it's locked. Next, find a copper deposit and start mining. With copper, you can make wire. Select the wire in the crafting grid and craft as many as you want. While dragging, hold Ctrl to make sure that the item does not get welded. Find a coal deposit, collect a bit of coal, open the crafting grid, search extractor, and craft 1 extractor. Place the extractor onto the coal, then use hammer tool and go to config on the bottom right. Left click the extractor and select the material. You can either find it or write down the material. And then don't forget to press apply. Place your coal bin onto the extractor, get a wire, place it onto the extractor. Craft a BurnerGenerator. Now the extractor is powered and will slowly generate coal. This coal is used to generate more power. With the extractor you can collect all the resources you need without having to do it yourself. Sometimes you may stumble upon other people's spaces. If they're unlocked, don't feel too bad to steal stuff. For example, this nice ruby. It was pretty dark, wasn't it? Let's do something about this. First, we're gonna need some sand. Conveniently, somebody already has some sand and glass. To make glass out of sand, you need a kiln. To make the kiln, you need 5 wires, 2 heaters, 10 iron. Heaters you can easily make with iron and wire. The kiln needs to be powered to make glass. We're just going to snag this off right of him. If a bin is unlocked, you can left click it to transfer items. Or you can left click it to just drop the items out straight. Let's take this back to the base. Now we almost have everything for the thing that we need. All we need is a ruby, and conveniently we have one there. But if you don't have that, just keep mining rock and at some point a ruby will drop. There we go, a ruby. Now with ruby, iron, glass and some wire, we can craft night vision goggles. Once you craft them, they will be in your hotbar. By left clicking, you will be able to equip them. Now that it's bright outside, it's gonna be pretty bright on the night vision. Let's make an apparel. For that we need the 5 rubber and some cloth. Cloth we can make with grass, 2 each. For the apparel we need 10, so that means 20 grass. Now with 10 cloth and 5 rubber we can make our apparel. It will immediately attach to our left hand. We can just left click it to drop it. Now with our hammer tool, you're gonna use the config, left click and change the limb to torso. Now holding left control and left click and dropping it, you'll be able to pick it up again. Now that you have the apparel, make sure to raise it up a little bit. We're going to place a piece of iron on the back side, aka the long facing side, and we're going to shrink it down using the parameters of 0.1 all the way down. We're going to make it 0.2 thick on the X, for example, whichever side it is. And we're going to increase the size a little bit. Now with this method, we can attach bins to this at any time we want. You can take bins and resize them down without losing any of the contents. Now you can take the small bin and attach it right onto the apparel plate. Now you can remove the iron that's holding up the apparel and you can just walk right into it. This way you can carry the items with you. To generate more power, we need something better than burner generators. For that, we need oil and refineries. A single refinery needs these resources. Watch out, the refinery is pretty big. Now, to make a refinery useful, we're going to need 3 tanks. One for oil, one for gasoline, and one for petroleum. To craft a tank, you're going to need rubber. In this case, we're going to need 3. Tanks are similar to bins, as they can be max size 10 by 10 by 10. Tanks will hold their volume times 100 resources. You can resize this tank to this size by just hovering over this tank and pressing F. To move liquids, you're going to need a pipe. Now for these 2 tanks, we're going to need a filter each. One filter needs a rubber and a chute. Place the filters onto the refinery and use the hammer tool under the config in the bottom right. Select the filter and filter in gasoline and petroleum. One thing I forgot is we need a power cell. Power cell is pretty easy. Sulfur, wire, iron. Sulfur you can get from mountains. Power cell can be also resized to 10 by 10 by 10, in which it will hold the volume times 200 capacity, which means 200,000. With the refinery running occasionally, we see that it produces gasoline and petroleum at the same rate. It will also use one oil for gasoline and petroleum. Now to generate power, we're going to need a combustion turbine. A combustion turbine needs 3 engines which each need 2 pipes. Now the combustion turbine needs 1 gasoline to work. Connect a wire to the refinery and to the power cell. And place the combustion turbine onto the gasoline tank or a pipe connected to the gasoline tank and the wire. As you can see, it produces substantially more power than one of these burner generators. Now, please delete the burner generator, you will never use it again. As you may notice, the combustion turbine is pretty loud. To make it quieter, we need a sound muffler. The sound muffler needs 20 cloth. Now that we made the sound muffler, we can place it next to the combustion turbine and it will be quiet. Assemblers are great, they can help with automation. Now with the assembler you can make anything with it as long as it has the right resources. We're gonna make gears in this case, you can make whatever you need. I've attached an iron bin and I'm gonna have an empty bin with the gear resource applied. Attaching the bin to the assembler will start making gears automatically for you.